if you want change to happen, you have to change.
Welcome back to Finding My Place. Today's video is all about the small wins around the house. We're finishing off the carport, adding a bit more security, decorating the hall and bringing some warm finishing touches into the kitchen. In between all of that, I wanted to share what a slower pace of life really means to me. Not doing less, but me being more intentional with how we spend our time. This is us just finding our rhythm as we go, making progress one project at a time, and slowly turning this house into a home. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to Finding My Place. After years of fast-paced city living, I realised I wanted something different. More calm, more nature and more space to breathe. When Martin brought me to Ireland all those years ago, I knew this is where I wanted my life to be. So now we've made the move and began creating a slower and more intentional way of living, doing the garden, exploring, running, cooking and looking after our well-being. This channel shares that journey of stepping away from the rush and finding what feels like home. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into today's video.
Today I'm going to be looking at some wallpapering, decorating the front porch, the front hallway. You can see I've already done the wooden panelling and it's all painted, ready to go. I've stripped the wallpaper here at the top. I can't get very high because I'm not good with ladders, so I may have to get someone to help do the higher parts. I have used a wallpaper stripper for the walls. Some people would say don't use a wallpaper stripper, it destroys the plasterboard. It's perfectly fine. I find it perfectly fine as long as you're quite quick and you move along fairly quickly so it doesn't get a good chance to absorb into the walls. There's absolutely no problem with that whatsoever, so I find it works for me anyway. You can see I've already done some wallpapering here. The wallpapering here has got gold in it, which brings out the gold in the staircase as well. Okay, so that bit's finished. All ready for some wallpaper steaming. Right, if I've wired these lights up correctly, fingers crossed, then they'll all work first time, but I'm fairly confident, but I'm not 100% sure, so I've not pinned them all up yet. So just to check that I have not got any faulty lights to start with. So if I press this switch, it should light up. The other two are outside lights, so this should be the undercover light. It works. Fantastic. All done. That's another job done. Today I'm going to be looking at the carport. We're going to replace the carport. The existing carport is a wooden construction, it's softwood. It's probably 20 years old and birds have nested in it. Some bugs have burrowed through it and the wood is not quite as it should be. I've had to patch it up in places to strengthen it because it was starting to rot and become weak. So it was only a matter of time before it finally collapsed. The roof on the carport was a very, very thin PVC. You couldn't walk on it. It was very brittle. I had a few branches fell on top of it in the past and it basically went straight through it. And we didn't want to risk a car in the carport with that going on, so we thought it was about time to replace it. Now we did pay for a guy to do it because I'm not very good at heights. I've admitted to that several times already. So we wanted somebody that was good with heights. So we had to really look at getting somebody in to do that. He removed the old carport as well, which was a blessing for me, so I didn't have to do that. And he was able to dispose of it at the local tip, just using my address, and because we're rates pairs, he was able to get rid of it under household waste, which was very handy. So I didn't have to deal with that as well, and pay for a skip to remove that. The new structure was galvanized, so it was dipped in a type of metal which protects the metal, and it's better than painting. It lasts apparently about 30 years before it requires painting, so we went with that. I mean, the trick is it's not supposed to get wet anyway because it's under shelter, so it should last a fair while. It'll certainly last my lifetime. And it's a lot stronger than the wooden construction, and obviously if there's any deterioration in the strength you will see it, whereas you don't necessarily see it with wood, especially if it's painted wood. The roofing, the cladding for the roof, we decided to go for metal roofing rather than plastic because it's a lot tougher, and it is PVC coated, so again we don't have to paint it, and it is waterproof with a PVC plastic coating. We got some clear PVC for 2 strips down the middle to allow enough sunlight in during the day, otherwise it would have been just too dark in there. It doesn't look as good as it could. Perhaps it would have been better to be all metal, but we did want the daylight in there as well, so we're not relying on artificial lighting all day long. Especially in the summertime, you know, when it's sunny outside, you don't really want to be putting lights on during the daytime. The steel posts were placed onto concrete pads. The concrete pads were probably 1 cubic metre each, just dug into the ground, and then 5 days allowed for the concrete to cure, and then the steel posts were placed and bolted on top. So, and then filled in on top again with concrete, and then the block paving to hide that as well. There was a lot of waste materials left behind. It were actually quite decent, so I shoved them to one side, and in typical me fashion, I tried to then think of some uses for it, and that'll come up in the subsequent videos where I make use of the existing material that was left over. And I think I made a couple of good uses, and you'll see that in future videos. Watch this space.
Just wanted to talk a little bit around work-life balance and what that actually means for me, and what I actually mean when I say I'd like a slower pace of living. Now, for anyone that knows me, or if anyone that doesn't know me, I'm kind of a person who's always on the go, and that is just something that I've always done. I've always been quite a busy person. I like to keep active. But when I kind of said to people I wanted a slow pace of living, they kind of looked at me and laughed, mainly because they know how busy I like to be. But what I kind of mean by a slow pace of living is being able to do things that I want to do at the times I want to do them, not having to cram them all into particular times of the day. So at the moment, obviously working a 9 to 5, you only have the times outside of working and weekends and holidays to be able to do things. What I'd like to be able to do is be able to balance that and actually do things that I want to do during daytime hours and not just cramming them all into the weekends. I want to be able to, in some way, choose what I want to do when I want to do it. And by that, I mean, having the opportunity to go out and do a run during the day rather than having to wait until the evening or having to get up first thing and do it then. Or even things like I do a lot of volunteer work for charities, one charity in particular, which is Radio Lollipop. And at the moment, again, I have to try and cram that into my weekends or in my evenings to be able to support them going forward. And I'd like to be able to do some of that stuff during the day as well. When I talk around the balance of work life, it's around having choices around what I want to do and when I want to do it, rather than kind of being fit into kind of a structured regime. Kind of life always tends to feel like it comes second. And I don't want to get to the point where I get to a certain age and I've lost time due to the fact I've worked all that and I haven't got enough life left in me to be able to live it. And I think that's where I'm kind of wanting to be when I'm being here in Ireland, is actually having the life in me to be able to do all the exciting things that I want to do and go all the exciting places I want to go to. And that was one of the steps I made. And I always live by the motto, if you want change to happen, you have to change. You can't just wake up one day and expect things to be different. So doing a small thing every day or every week or every month, whatever you can afford to do, just allows you to get you towards that life that you want to lead. And that's what I'm trying to build here in Ireland. And I say it's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. It will probably take a while for me to get to where I want to be, but just seeing those small steps and seeing those improvements gives me that kind of boost and that push to be able to kind of crack on and do things. And so that's one of the reasons we set up this channel as well in the first place, was to kind of push us forward to make some of those choices and then those changes. It's one of them. We've always talked about setting up a YouTube channel, documenting things, and we've missed on so many opportunities where we could have had some really good videos coming out with house renovations and stuff we've done, but we bit the bullet and we did it. And it's one of the best things for me that I've ever done, because it's just allowing me to do the things that I've wanted to do, but I've had no real push or I don't say desire to do them. There's always been something that's been holding me back. So that kind of leash has been broken a little. Whilst I am still travelling backwards and forwards between Ireland and England, I am in the process of building the other things that I want to do in the background. One thing I would say, you want to, I'm going to make sure I get this the right way around. You don't want to just live your life for work. It's got to be the other way around. You're going to work so you can ensure that you live your life. So work isn't the necessity that life becomes a necessity. Now, don't get me wrong, there is going to be, some people out there that absolutely enjoy their jobs and love working and love doing everything that they're doing, and that is fantastic. And if that's you and you're already doing that, congratulations. But it's not, that way isn't for everyone. And say the way for me is life is the most important thing and work is an enabler. Money that I get from work is an enabler. It's not what I want to be doing forever and a day. So if there's any changes you can make, or if you've got any thoughts about how you live a good work-life balance, please drop them in the comments below.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe as it helps our channel grow and you'll be notified when our videos go live. We've also set up our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Please come along and follow along and join our community. We have lots of exciting things coming up and we would love for you to join us as we find our place in Ireland.
Whoa, I'm steaming.